Hello dear students, myself CMA Padmaja Buzruk. I will be discussing about auditing. In this particular video, I will discuss internal check. Let us see what is the meaning of internal check. According to Spicer and Pegler, internal check is an arrangement of staff duties where none is allowed to carry through and record every aspect of transaction so that without collusion between any two or more persons, fraud is prevented and at the same time possibilities of errors and frauds are reduced to the minimum. In short, internal check is nothing but arrangement of staff duties in such a way that a single individual is not given the responsibility of single transaction. The transaction is allocated, divided, distributed among various staff members so that without collusion between any two or more person fraud is prevented. That means if they all of them come together for the purpose of making fraud, then and then only fraud is possible. Otherwise, fraud can be prevented. At the same time, the possibilities of errors and frauds are reduced to minimum. Each business transaction has number of steps such as posting to the concerned books of accounts, recording receipts, payment of cash. These processes involve various number of stuffs. Let us take an example of purchase transaction. For the purpose of making purchase of raw materials, it is necessary to place purchase order with the supplier. For that, selection of supplier is required. There is a procedure which is to be followed for selecting supplier. Once the order is placed, it is necessary to take follow-up of that purchase order. Once the order is dispatched, it is necessary to make arrangement for receipt of the goods. Once the goods are received, it is necessary to make record of these goods, whether it is as per purchase order. It is necessary to again maintain record of this in goods inward register. Once the goods are transferred to warehouse, again they are recorded. It is recorded in bin card as well as stores ledger. Quality control is carried out. Recording of that also is required. Then it is necessary to make payment for this. So if only one person is involved in all these processes, chances of fraud increase. So each and every transaction is distributed, divided among various staff members. In an internal check system, the work of staff is arranged in such a way that work of one individual is checked by the other in the staff. Internal check is valuable part of internal control. Practically, a continuous internal audit is carried on by the staff itself. So this is a continuous process. Arrangement of duties of staff in such a manner that work of one individual is checked by the other in the staff. Automatically it gets checked. Duties are arranged in such a manner that one person's work gets checked by another person. It is on continuous basis. It is a part of internal control and it is nothing but you can call it as a part of internal audit also carried on by the staff itself because one staff member is indirectly checking the work done by another staff member. Internal check is a system of allocation of responsibility, division of work, and methods of recording transactions whereby the work of an employee is checked continuously by another. Allocation of responsibility, division of authority and responsibility, division of work, method of recording of transaction. This is nothing but internal check. Now we'll see an example which is given in your module. At the time of cashing a check at any bank, A check is produced at the counter from where customer gets a token. Supposing if you go to bank for withdrawing cash and if you give a check, if you produce the check at the counter, you get a token. So the counter from where you get a token, the person who gives you token is a staff member. Token number is entered into the token book as well as at the back of the check by attending clerk. This is a staff member who is doing this job, giving you token, entering the token number in the book, on the back of the check writing the token number. Then what happens? The check is then passed on to the ledger clerk who verifies the credit balance in the customer's account and makes debit entry. This check goes to the ledger clerk who is having ledger book. He opens your ledger account and checks if you have credit balance in the account. If you have balance of whatever the amount of check is, he makes debit entry. The check is then sent for verifying the signature of the customer and then it is passed for payment to the customer. Then verification of signature is done by officer. The cashier makes the payment to the customer. The cashier makes the payment against the token and records it in cash register. So just if you go into the bank for withdrawing cash by giving check, these many people, staff member are involved. First person who gives you token, second person who checks whether in your account you have credit balance, then one officer is verifying your signature and cashier makes you payment. In this manner, four staff members are involved in this particular transaction. But nowadays, because of ATMs, this is not very common. Just we go to ATM and withdraw cash. Aims of internal check. The internal check is said to have following fundamental aims: to pin down to definite person's responsibility for particular act, default or omission by the segregation of task, division of work, definition of authority and responsibility. That is nothing but internal check points out who is responsible for which particular act. If any default is made, if any omission is there, who will be held responsible for that? By definition of authority, responsibility, and division of work. So that person will be held responsible for his acts. To obtain confirmation of facts and entries, physical and financial, by the creation and preservation of necessary records. It is necessary to create, make various records, and it is necessary to preserve these records also. Why these records are necessary? Because for confirmation of facts, physical and financial. This is applicable for stock. Physical verification of stock, whether stock really exists, and financial, what is the value of that stock. So it is necessary to get confirmation really the stock exists. Whatever is value shown in the stock sheet is correct. So records are maintained. Stock records by various means, confirmation letters, etc. So second aim of internal check is to obtain confirmation of facts. To facilitate the breakdown of routine procedure so as to avoid bottlenecks and to establish an even flow of work. It is necessary to facilitate the breakdown of routine procedure. Sometimes what happens, there can be some bottlenecks. To avoid these bottlenecks and to establish even flow of work, internal check is very necessary. Workflow should not get disturbed to avoid bottlenecks. proper purchase procedure, production will not held up for shortages of raw material, labor, finance, etc. So purchase procedure should be very, very proper. There you should avoid any bottlenecks. Production will stop because of shortage of raw material, labor or finance. So before production, everything should be taken care of in order to establish even flow of work, to reduce to a minimum the possibility of frauds and errors. Auditor's duty in regard to internal check system. In case of a big concern where there is a good internal check system, the auditor may presume the accuracy of accounting. In big concern, if internal check system is good, the auditor can take it granted that accounts will be accurate, accuracy of accounting, but he must not be negligent. He should apply few test check, that is, he should check few transactions at random or check fully the accounts for few months and carry out a thorough check of the whole of certain class of transactions taking place during that particular period, for example cash sales or cash received or credit purchases during that period. Even if there is good internal check system, auditor should be very, very careful. He should apply test checks. He should select few transactions randomly and check it fully, that is from beginning to the end, that is from source document till it goes to the financial statements, profit and loss account and balance sheet. Or he should check full accounts for few months and check the transactions thoroughly, cash sales, cash received, credit purchases, etc. In selecting certain transactions, the auditor should see that such sample transactions are representative and true specimen of such entries throughout the year. He has to be very, very careful while selecting transactions because he will be selecting few transactions and he will carry out the check whether they are really correct or not, whether he can depend on them or not, whether he can rely them or not. So he should be very careful while selecting this specimen or representative transactions. If he finds that is if auditor finds that there is no mistake and there is nothing to arouse his suspicion, he may presume that the accounts are correct. It must be remembered that in such a case, the auditor is not relieved of his responsibility. So even if he thinks that nothing is wrong, there is no suspicious matter in the accounting, but still he is not relieved of his responsibility. Therefore, it would be better for him to probe the matter thoroughly. If there is the slightest suspicion, if later on it is found that fraud had been committed, which the auditor failed to detect as he had not checked all the transactions, he would be held liable. So, after completion of audit, if the frauds are detected, discovered afterwards, he will be held liable if he has not taken proper care, reasonable care. So, he should be very careful. The existence of good internal check system reduces to a great extent the work of auditor but does not reduce his liability. To what extent an auditor should depend upon internal check system will depend upon his tact, skill, experience and judgment. Auditor has to use his experience, his knowledge, his skill, his judgment and tactfully he has to decide whether to depend upon the internal check system. In order to draw attention to important aspects of System of internal check. Usually auditor prepares checklist, which is a questionnaire set. Now in order to find out whether the internal check system is proper or not, auditor prepares a checklist, and this is known as questionnaire set. Nothing but list of questions. The question should be framed in such a way that an answer will be either affirmative or negative. Questions are to be prepared in such a manner that answer will be either yes or no. Affirmative answer would normally reveal a satisfactory position. If the answer is negative, inquiry should be made to see if there is a satisfactory substitute for the procedure referred to in questionnaire. A negative answer always require further examination. So he gets answers to this questionnaire. It will be either yes or no. If the answer is no, if the reply is negative, then he has to check whether there is satisfactory substitute. If there is any other alternative procedure available for which is referred to in the questionnaire. If the answer is negative, he needs to do further examination. All the items on the questionnaire cannot be of same importance, and an unhealthy position might be revealed either by a single negative answer or by number of such answers. Whether the position is unhealthy will be revealed, will be shown, detected either by a single negative answer or by number of such negative answers. Why? Because all the item of the questionnaire, that is all the questions, cannot be of the same importance. Now we'll see what is the meaning of this internal control questionnaire. The internal check system questionnaire is a list of systematically and logically prepared questions designed to find out and evaluate the effectiveness of internal check system regarding various aspects and accounting transactions of an organization. So internal control questionnaire is nothing but systematically and logically prepared questions. Why these questions are prepared? To find out and evaluate effectiveness of internal check system. Whether internal check system is effective or not is to be found out by auditor. For that he will prepare this questionnaire, and it includes what? Regarding various aspects of the business, including accounting transactions. The questionnaire are to be as comprehensive as possible. Comprehensive is nothing but detailed, including everything. As comprehensive as possible in nature, and to make sure that all aspects and accounting transactions are covered, which are to be replied by the official of the department or division concerned. It should be detailed, it should cover everything, and it should be answered by official of that particular department. Internal control questionnaire is issued to various people at different levels in the organization. There are various departments: purchase department, sales department, personnel department, production department, quality control department, R&D department, etc. etc. So for each and every department, separate questionnaire is prepared, and it is to be replied by a responsible official or person or employee of that department. It can be issued at any point of time and reported back immediately. It contained questions to be answered by employees of the organization. It is used to collect the information to know about the internal control system and to evaluate the weakness therein. In order to find out whether internal control system is adequate, these questions are sent to various departments in order to evaluate if there is any weakness in the internal control system, and if there is weakness, measures are to be suggested to the management for improvement. The evaluation of internal check system in an organization is of great concern both to the statutory auditor as well as to the internal auditor. Evaluation analysis of internal check system is done by both statutory auditor as well as internal auditor. Internal control questionnaire will help the internal auditor in shaping his audit program. In preparing his audit program, internal control questionnaire helps internal auditor to evaluate the existing internal control system and thereby to suggest management to review the said systems to further strengthen the organizational controls. The department or divisional head should also make use of such questionnaire by directing the personnel to prepare replies to such questionnaire for benefit of department itself. So not only internal auditor and statutory auditor, sometimes departmental and divisional heads also can make this questionnaire and ask the people, direct the personnel to prepare replies, and that will benefit to the department itself. During the course of audit, statutory auditor will submit to the organization a complete questionnaire for reply by concerned official, which will help him to form an opinion as to the adequacy and reasonableness of internal check system. In case of statutory audit also, statutory auditor makes questionnaire, then it is the duty of the official to reply this, which helps statutory auditor to form his opinion as to whether the internal check system in the organization is adequate, whether it is reasonable, whether it is reliable, because his extent of checking depends on that. For statutory auditor, it is not possible to carry out 100% checking. He carries out sample checking, and for that, it is necessary for him to find out whether internal check system in the organization is proper or not. By evaluation of internal check system, including internal accounting control through questionnaire, statutory auditor get clear insight into the operational systems and an overall view of the organization workings to spot weakness in the system and procedure both in respect of financial and operational areas of the business. So by evaluating, by analyzing this internal check system, statutory auditor can spot weaknesses in the systems not only in respect of financial but operational areas of the business. Statutory auditor during the course of his audit may make test check or in-depth checking depending on the replies to the questionnaire. He has to ensure that these replies are accurate and complete. The statutory auditor's extent of checking depends on the soundness or otherwise of internal control in business. He has to apply test check in many areas due to limitation of time. Statutory auditors have very limited period of time for carrying out the auditing. So in many areas they have to carry out test check, sample checking. If the internal check system is sound, then in that case they can do test check. In respect of many of the replies, the statutory auditor may have to make sure that internal check system are really in operation through proper verification. Auditor has to go and check even if The questions are replied by officials of the department. He has to go and check in person whether the system is really in operation, because there is a possibility that without proper system in operation the questions can be answered. So it is his duty to check whether really these are in operation. In respect of negative replies, he may have to qualify his audit report depending on seriousness of the situation. If the replies are negative, answers are negative to the question, and if it is very serious, then he can qualify his audit report. Internal control questionnaire. Internal control questionnaire for bank cash receipts is given to for each and every area. Whenever this questionnaire is prepared, it include lot of questions, set of questions. So this one particular example is given, we'll just go through it. Is inward mail opened by person not connected with handling cash or accounts department? Mail is what? Mail is nothing but letters. Whatever the businessman gets in his business premises, who opens this? So it is to be opened by person other than a person who is handling cash or accounts department. So answer to this is either yes or no. Is the inward mail date stamped? So whenever the mail is received, that is inward mail, is it date stamped? Do you put a stamp which has date on it? Is there a detailed record of receipts prepared? Whatever you receive, do you have a detailed record of this? Are all check specially crossed or deposited in bank by employees opening mail? The employee who opens these mail, does he deposit these into bank? Are bank deposit prepared and made by someone other than those responsible for cash receipts and or personal ledger? Are duplicate or counterfoil of receipted deposit slips received from the bank? So in short, who is making deposits into the bank? Are you getting counterfoils of whatever amount you have deposited into the bank? Is there any comparison of item listed on the duplicate or counterfoil deposit slip with the amount of check recorded in the cash receipt records? These after as soon as the check gets or comes into the inward mail, it gets recorded into the receipt book, cash book on the receipt side. You have to compare it with the counterfoil when it gets deposited into bank. Are receipts given for over the counter collections? If you are collecting any amount on the counter, are you giving receipts? Is there reconciliation of such proofs of collection with amount banked? If you are putting the amount into the bank, do you have any proof of reconciliation? Are collections of branch offices, sales offices deposited in special bank account subject to withdrawal only by head office? If there is collection, if any collection of branch office, sales office, are you depositing in special bank account subject to withdrawal only by head office? If collections are made by representatives of the company in cash, have serially numbered been issued to them? Serially numbered receipts issued to them? Is there a system of issuing permanent receipt in lieu of temporary or provisional receipt issued by bill collections? If any temporary or provisional receipt is given, is there a system of issuing them permanent receipt? Internal control questionnaire For cash and bank receipt, we will continue with the questions. Are such collections promptly received and banked? So whatever you are receiving, are you promptly banking it? Are the receipt form serially numbered, kept in safe custody, controlled by register, unused stocks checked regularly, made out by one employee and dispatched by another, accounted for including those cancelled in respect of partially used receipts, books not intended to be used, cancelled, or cancelled receipts preserved. Is the opening of bank account authorized by board of directors? Are sundry items such as dividend, interest, rent, commission, etc. regularly checked by responsible official to satisfy that correct amount are received? These are various miscellaneous receipts. So, do you have a procedure of checking these sundry receipts by responsible officials? Now, continuation of this questionnaire only for cash and bank receipts. Is there a procedure to ensure that hundi borrowings, hundi is nothing but a financial instrument used in credit transaction, it's like bill of exchange, as only by checks crossed account pay? Is the cash balance verified frequently? Cash balance verified frequently. Do you check frequently the cash balance? Incoming money order, VPP, etc. VPP receipts, that is value payable post. Sometimes some goods are sent through post VPP. The person has to pay the amount to the post office and then only he can get the goods. Are they listed immediately? Are such lists compared with cash book regularly? Is there an arrangement with the postal authorities to receive check instead of cash? Are the cashier's duties taken over for a few days by someone else occasionally? If rough cash book is maintained, is a fair cash book written up promptly? Is fair cash book checked with rough cash book by a person other than cashier? So many questions only in one area, cash and bank receipt. For each and every area, such type of questions are prepared which are known as questionnaires, which are required to be answered by a responsible person, employee, official of a respective department so that the auditor can form his opinion about soundness of internal check system. In this video, we have seen what is the meaning of internal check, aim of internal check, what are auditor's duties in internal check, what is the meaning of questionnaire, and we have seen one example also of the questionnaire, how these questions are prepared in case of cash and bank receipts. Thank you.